Hi, this is Mel from Mesa, Arizona, and one of the people in my Facebook page, Mesa AZ Tropical Fruit Trees, had a huge mulberry tree that he was trimming right now, and so he gave anybody that wanted them free mulberry cuttings. These are Pakistan mulberry cuttings, and so I've got several different mulberry cuttings. This one here I already put into the container. The soil I'm using, I use usually about 80% peat moss and about 20% perlite, so the perlite helps to uh, be drainage, work in the drainage. But while I was over there at his house, his wife showed me that they had a Little Miss Figgy fig tree. Now, I've got 15 varieties of figs, but I didn't have this particular variety, and she gave me this cutting. Now, you don't want on the cuttings, you don't want the green wood usually. You want the older wood when you're doing cuttings, especially on figs. So I figured this was long enough that I could cut it into two cuttings and make two cuttings for the figs here. So I use different containers. For the Pakistan mulberry, I'm going to use the 1 gallon containers. As you can see, I've already planted this one. And on the little Miss Figgy, I figured I'd use these little 12-ounce cups. And there's lots of different things you can mark these with. If you look at the tag that I have over here in the mulberry, this is just, if you take blinds, and I cut them into, these are the hanging blinds, and it broke on the top, so then I'll mark it, and I don't know if you can see that there, but I've marked it with where I can cut it into 4 strips, and then I'll put a peak on the end of them and make a whole bunch of these little markers to stick into pots. Those are great for putting in pots. You got to be careful on what kind of markers, because if you use a regular Sharpie, in 1 year you won't see anything. With especially in Arizona with the sun baking on the tags, this will disappear completely. So if you're going to try to use a marker, they have special markers that are called permanent garden markers. And the permanent garden markers, the ultraviolet ray won't bleed the color away like they do with the regular Sharpie markers. So this is really good to use. Actually, the cheapest thing to use is just a pencil. A pencil with the graphite in it isn't going to wear off, and you could write that right on into tags. They also have something that's more permanent, and that's acrylic paints markers. Your mom might have used this on writing on cloth and making designs and everything like that. But I got a black and a white one, and the white one you can see I wrote on this here, Little Miss Figgy, and I put the date October 2023 that we're going to plant these today. And then you can put it on the containers like this. I put PK for mulberry, Pakistan mulberry, and I can put the date on that, but I'm going to put tags in here. I just put it on here just kind of show the white marker works really good on this. You can put a black marker on the white tags. But I don't really like to mark containers because this tree isn't going to stay in a 1 gallon container very long. So I usually don't mark the containers, but I just want to show you it works real good to mark the containers like that too. But so first thing, the water. Well, I've got these things soaking down here. All these cuttings. I got lots of cuttings, as you can see here. And I have a gallon of water in the bottom there. And in that water, I put a gallon of water. I put 1 vitamin C or aspirin, 1 aspirin capsule. And there's an acid in aspirin that causes plants to root. And so it promotes root growth. And so that works really good for root growth. So we're going to go ahead and plant these 2 fig cuttings. And so it's what I do. You don't have to do this, but I take it one side of it and I'll cut it like that. And if you look real close, you can see that there's a white wood here, and then they say the green, the lighter green in here underneath the bark. That's your cambium layer. The cambium layer is where the roots are going to grow from. And so to that, I use a rooting agent. There's a lot of different rooting agents you can use. You can use onions, you can use bananas, you can use honey. I like to use aloe vera, so I cut a piece of aloe vera and I'll rub this aloe vera all over the whole part of the cutting that's going to be underneath the ground. And each one of these is called a node, and you want to have at least 2 or 3 nodes underground, and then you want to have at least 2 or 3 nodes above the ground, because the ones underground is where the roots are going to grow from, and the ones above the ground is where your plant's going to grow from. So I took a stick and I pre-made a hole in the top of this, so when I put this in, it's not rubbing the aloe vera off. And then I'll just pack it in there like that, and then I'll water that down real good. And so I got this other one here. I'll go ahead and show you. Oops, knocked it over. I gotta be careful with that. I'm gonna take this stick and stick it down in here, and you want to make it bigger than what the stick is that you're going to stick in, and make it fairly deep so those can go down there. Rub this out with aloe vera. Rub it all over completely. Make one cut on this on one side, so just expose a little bit more of the cambium layer of there, so that'll have roots growing all out the sides here of this. Then we'll stick that inside there. Make sure and mark your plants, and things like this one here is marked. I want to make sure and mark them, because otherwise later on you say, what did I put in there? I've done that before. I think all of us have. So now I'm going to take this big pot here and make a big hole, because these mulberry cuttings, Pakistan mulberry cuttings, are a lot bigger. Oh, also I was going to tell you, this is things to hold down cloth, garden cloth, to get rid of glass. But I use that, and I poke holes in the bottom of the container, because you got to make sure and poke holes in the bottom of the container so that the water can seep out, so it doesn't get waterlogged. So we're just going to take one of these Pakistan mulberry cuttings. You see it's been soaking in the water with the aspirin in it. We're going to cut one side of it, and then we're going to rub the aloe vera all over this thing, clear over the end and up over the whole area, because this helps to promote root growth, and that's what we want, is for it to grow the roots to grow real well. And then you poke it down inside there, and then just pack the soil in all the way around it real tight. So don't have to do over and over several different ones. That's why I did one ahead of time, and then wanted to show one on camera, and then the fig cuttings, how I did those. But hopefully I gave you a few ideas on markers and how to mark things to make sure you know what they are. Adding the aspirin to the water, and water those with the aspirin in it also. And right now the mulberry are going into dormancy, and the figs will be going into dormancy pretty soon too. So you won't see a lot of green growth on these unless you're putting them into a greenhouse under grow lights. But you don't want, I'm going to put plastic over these, hold the moisture in, and let the roots root out. But hopefully this helps you see what you can do on doing cuttings and how you can promote different trees. I've shown videos on just growing trees from seeds. I've shown videos now on growing from cuttings. I grow a lot of trees. I've got probably 400 trees growing in the ground in pots and containers, from 12-ounce cups clear up to 25-gallon containers, and then some in the ground. If you have any questions or anything like that, or if you like this video, I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up if you like this video. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and if you could put in the comments where you're watching this video from. And then if you would like to see more videos like this, if you could hit the subscribe button, and there's a bell by it. If you hit the bell, it'll notify you when I do other videos. Thank you for watching, and you guys have a great day today.